It's Flux Friday, the best update show in the hobby, brought to you and hosted by DrFlux.
I'm DrFlux. Today's Friday, so you know what that means. Today is Flux Friday. In today's episode, we're going to talk about power systems, in particular, bungee power. I like to refer to these types of blasters as stringer flingers. Now, there's actually two different kinds of flingers. There's ones that use rigid cord, much like this double crossbow from Misguided Creations. Such a cool blaster. This blaster gets its power from the bow arms and not from a bungee type of cord system. And we're also not really focusing on the Hyper from Captain Slug, as this uses a plunger tube system, but does use bungees for its power. Today, we're really going to be focusing on 3D printed hobby bungee type pistols that get its power just from a standard little bungee cord. Now, there are many designs to pick from, so I've curated 5 of these types of blasters from various creators and shops in the hobby, so that's what we're going to look at today. Let's head on over to the workbench and let me show you some of my favorite picks. Here we have the JSPB String Shot. This blaster looks really interesting because it actually has quite a few features. For starters, the blaster accepts Talon magazines, which is really nice. Secondly, it's actually got a lot of power because this bungee right here, it's got a pretty beefy bungee on here. Now, something I really like about the Ninja String Shot is its ability to hold multiple magazines. You can hold one as a stock. One can be slid into here as a priming bar and just an overall magazine storage. And other than that, I think it just looks really cool. It has a very sci-fi kind of outlandish look to it, which I like. If you would like to pick up a JSPB Ninja String Shot, they are available on their website as of right now. Here we have the Xbox Games FFE29. This blaster is bungee powered, as you can see. Takes Talon magazines. On the back of the blaster, we have the mag release, and we have a couple integrated sights here that allow for a pretty decent sight picture. And for its size and its cost, it's actually pretty effective. Overall, I really like the XFB1 for its simplicity and its overall friendly look and design. And if you'd like to pick up an XFB1, these are available at xboxgames.com. Link will be in the description. Here we have an absolutely adorable blaster. This right here was given to me by Maritime Foam when I was down in Maryland Mayhem and I got a chance to check out his booth. This blaster is known as the Striglet and it is designed by 01 Tech. And I just have to say, I'm pretty sure this was printed on a bamboo and it is just really dialed in. This thing is glossy. And this part here is like a matte finish and boy, does it look good. This is a great grab bag blaster. You can throw a couple darts in here, which I really like this feature. Prime it back, and you can feed your dart in here. You could probably also just shove it in the front. But for its size, it's got a good little pop. Now, if you'd like to pick up the Striglet, I will leave a link in the description. This can be purchased from Maritime Foam's Etsy shop. Next, we have a really cool blaster. This is called the First Mate. This is designed by Lidl Dynamics, and here's what I love about this thing. It's got a little button here with a brake action, and when you collapse the blaster like this, it actually primes it, so you can feed your dart in. Close it, closes the breech and the brake. Another thing I absolutely love about this blaster is its extremely low hardware cost. It goes together with 3D printed pins. This right here is actually a hair tie. This blaster's probably underperforming right now because I just threw a hair tie on here. So yeah, it's just a hair tie and some 3D printed parts, and you have a really cool blaster. And it's very quiet. Now, if you'd like to pick up this blaster, this right here was provided by Not Enough Nerf, so check out their Etsy store, but there is also files available on Etsy from Lidl Dynamics. I will leave a link to both. Here we have a great little blaster. This right here is the SCPB TAC 01. I believe there is a 02 in the works and might actually be out by the time this video releases. This blaster is designed by Foam Blasted. I absolutely love Foam Blasted designs. They look great. This one I'm really excited about because ever since I saw these small form factor string shot blasters, I always wanted an angled Talon, and check that out. The profile just seems a lot better. Here's a string shot for comparison. As you can see, it's just a much better angled profile with the angled Talon. Mag release is just a friction fit, which is fine. Up here on the bottom of the blaster, you actually have some Picatinny rail, which is a cool little added feature. And it looks like you have some type of ring here that you could actually hang this blaster off some gear or something. The SCPB is just a really cool little blaster. And if you would like to pick one of these up, files are available on Etsy. I will leave a link in the description. Now that we've had a chance to look at all the blasters, I'm gonna talk about my favorite pick, and that is this right here from Foam Blasted. Now the SCPB is such a cool little blaster, mainly because of this. I just really like the angled talon profile. It's just one of those blasters that just looks good. I think I might actually print a few of them out for handouts, because it's just cool to have something that's 3D printed that you can give away and it doesn't really hurt the bank. I will say, out of all the designs, this blaster does seem to use the most hardware, as there are some brass inserts in here and some M3 bolts. But I'm okay paying for that hardware list because there's just not a lot of options for angled talons. I think the next bungee blaster I'd love to see is something that takes nightingales. With that said, it is worth mentioning that the creator of this by Lidl Dynamics, which it looks like Not Enough Nerf is selling some of their products, they have a tremendous amount of designs, and I believe they already have a blaster. I didn't want to focus too much on these designs because they have enough designs to where I can do a full dedicated video to just their string blasters. They're very cool. Well, with all that said, I want to thank you for watching today's Flux Friday. As always, I'm DrFlux. Be safe and happy foam flinging.